Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Friday. For me, your experience may differ. And I've decided to get out a good old demonic background with demonic fire, the best I could find, really, which is doing a bit weird things with my backdrop here. That's okay. That's all right. It'll be okay in the end. So welcome. We're at Fundamentalist Fails on my Friday, maybe your Thursday night. Take that for granted. And so what we're doing is we are looking at all of the weird and wacky fundamentalists out there, the weird and wacky things that they say. And I came across this one kind of randomly. It's been a weird week for me. I've certainly felt a little burnt out, I guess. I think I was mentioning to someone that earlier. I think it's also the heat here. Like I currently have on my desktop like a heat wave warning coming up. It's only 31 apparently, but that's sort of 9 o'clock in the morning. So you can imagine it's going to get hot today. So I'm a bit frazzled. I think most people are a bit frazzled in the heat, but yeah, it can get kind of stuffy in this room. So yeah, I apologize, but it's just been a little under the weather lately, I guess. It's so good to see all of you, and I do like Fridays. This one I found was great. It was basically called the 5 things that you should not have in your house for, demons. I'll get the actual name of it. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. I'll just grab the name of it. And it's from one of those weird channels that is like, Christian men's lifestyle channel. It's almost like Tradwife for men, I guess, those Tradwife channels, but for men. Yeah, DLM Christian lifestyle. And Daniel here wants to tell you about the 5 demonic things you need to get out of your house now. So not in 2 months, not in 2 weeks, now is what he says, which is just, I found it hilarious. And there was a lot to laugh at in it. But I hope you are all well. I really do. I am looking forward to the next week and the weekend, as I always do. A rosary? I'm not sure about that one, Jedi. I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, so I was a bit fiery this morning, but that's okay. I'll sort of break into it and get this underway. But it's so good to see all of you. Saw Austin on 2 different. Dave, I saw your channel earlier. I hung in there, but I wasn't sure what you were talking about, I got to admit. And I think I missed the most important first part where you're actually discussing what it is you were talking about. I was kind of lost. I won't lie to you. I was a bit lost, but that's okay. It was my fault. I should have been there from the start, quite frankly. But that's okay. How Kalasia, good to see you. I'm getting out now. Talk louder. You're getting out of what? Need to get some glue? I wondered what property. If you wallpaper your house with Bible pages? Okay, well, I mean, yeah, maybe. So which would be worse? Like, if you wallpaper your house with Bible pages or if you wallpaper your house with Book of Mormon? I want to know which is worse. Probably Book of Mormon, I would say. That would be, the real horrible thing to do, I would say. Oh, we looked at several videos. Okay. Yeah, so I apologize there, Dave. I just felt very out of the loop. But that's okay. That's all right. As I said, it's my fault. I wasn't there. Yeah, and some things are coming up. I will put it there. Book of Mormon would be funnier. Yes, absolutely. But it's fantastic to see you all. I should have a video hopefully coming out tomorrow on my interactions on look, it's weird that Christians will have a call-in show and call it a debate. I don't know why they seem to want to do that. It's very strange. I think it's so that they can sort of say, hey, I beat this atheist in a debate, and sort of, really what it is it's a call-in show. I mean, I don't know of any other call-in show calling their stuff a debate. It's very strange to me, but that's what they're doing. But I'll get this up and I will get it on the screen. So 5 demonic things you need to get out of your house. What I actually want to do is I want to hear from you people what you think the 5 demonic things are. Does anyone want to have a crack at it? What the 5 demonic things are? Like, does anyone have any guesses as to what the 5 demonic things in your house may be? I do realize that that might be dangerous if. Well, I mean, we can count them. We can definitely count them. We can definitely count them. Oh, hi, Max. I was in Max's earlier. That was really good. Apparently, Craig from Fight the Flat Earth is having a morality, a secular humanism debate against Andrew Wilson, who is a shocker, and I don't think he can debate to save his life. Ouija board from Left-Handed Jedi. Yeah. So, where was that? Ouija board. Origin of species. That's a good one. Yeah, that's definitely demonic. Black candles. Everybody knows that the only reason you have black candles is demonic. Necronomicon. That's yes. The Book of the Dead, the Book of the Damned. Yes, absolutely. Why not? Why wouldn't you have that in your house? Why not? Nice. I'm just getting a Evil Dead 3 flashback kind of thing, like Evil Dead flashback of, the throwing the Necronomicon in the fire and stuff. Good times. The television and video games. That's a good guess. Yep. Yeah, good one, Austin. And hello, Austin. I saw you earlier. It's a really good to see you, mate. Shrunken heads. Yeah, I think you're just trolling now. Pokemon and Magic cards. Yeah. Or D&D books. Yeah. Like, what is it? The 80s? We're having a second satanic panic in my chat. Like, seriously, you're just listing everything in the satanic panic. Are Christians really that not creative, that they haven't changed in 40 something years? In nearly half a century, are we doing the same thing? A cat. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Chief. Victoria, Christians are usually very hesitant to, like, that's the funny thing. They will attack all kinds of things, but they don't attack pets. And the reason why is because people love their pets. Like, because if they force people to choose between the church and their pets, they sometimes choose their pets, or they will choose their pets because they absolutely adore their pets, like people do. So they don't attack them ever. Even the question, do the pets go to heaven? Even the most fundamentalist one will say, we don't know. It's all up in the air. And that is something you rarely see. And I think it is because if they start saying, hey, no, your pet isn't gonna have a place, or your pet is, satanic or something, half their congregation won't be there because they will choose their pet. So that's something they never attack, which is wild, right? Tarot cards, yeah. And that's probably true, Ramban. I probably agree with that one, mate. Yeah. They're still doing the same old stuff. Well, I'll see how right you all are, but I'll get this running.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about 5 things you need to get out of your house right now.
Get out. And I feel like he's piggybacking off a really good movie. Get Out was a fantastic movie, fantastic horror movie with elements of humor in it. It was really inventive, really novel. It was great. I liked that movie. I wasn't a huge fan of the other one, which was Nope, but I did like Get Out. I thought that was a really good horror movie with political commentary and humor and just a whole bunch of stuff to recommend it. Get Out was great. So I feel like he's piggybacking off that. Get out of your house. Yeah, that doesn't say get these things. It says get out of your house. So yeah, maybe either the demonic stuff leaves or you do. One of the two.
5 demonic things.
Not the dream catchers. Oh, did anyone say dream catchers? Yeah, dream catchers. Like seriously, mm-hmm. Yeah, the demonic dream catcher. Yeah.
Most of you who's been on the channel for a while, you know my story, my testimony. You know,
I do not, but that's okay. I can live without it. I can live without it. And it's kind of weird. His accent is South African, I believe. I think I'm hearing South African or possibly Kenyan. I'm not sure which. That's what I'm hearing. So I don't know where this guy is from. I don't know what he's about. He runs some kind of Christian men's lifestyle channel, which is kind of really odd. It's almost like trad wife for men, trad husband, maybe. I don't know, because that sounds awful. That sounds awful. Those things actually work. Oh, you've caught some dreams, have you, Guitar Dog? Okay, didn't know that. Didn't know that. This probably. Oh, that's Austin. Oh no. Come on, dude. Those characters were awful. I loved how awful they are. I hope that I hope one of the things is Christian symbolism while he is wearing a cross shirt. Yeah. Trad bro. Okay, Sanjay, I love it. Trad bro. Yep. All right. Yep. Oh, sorry, Victoria, you come up with it. Yeah. Absolutely. Trad bro. Yeah, accurate. Yeah, definitely a trad bro. Yeah, absolutely. And he's broing hard. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's broing hard.
where I come from. My dad also, who at a certain point in his time, when he was a preacher in Pretoria.
Yeah, Pretoria is South Africa. Yes, Pretoria is a province in South Africa, or it's an area in South Africa. I think it is the sort of very white area, I believe. Oh, it's the capital. It's the capital of South Africa. Yeah. So yeah, it is a it's too bad a city. 2.8 million. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's say demographics. It's only 52%. So no, not exclusively. So Pretoria is a city with a large white population. However, when the township population is considered white to minority in the city. Interesting. So they have some townships around them. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's fine. I do like to know what I'm dealing with. So that's where it comes from, capital of South Africa. I don't know. For some reason, I thought Johannesburg was the capital of South Africa. I thought. Yeah, interesting.
It helped a lot of people who were demon possessed. Started with Satanists that wanted to accept Christ. And then it led to other people as well. Sometimes the school would call him, or even the police. Sometimes he would pray at the house.
Could you imagine that if, like, the police started calling up preachers to because of demons? I mean, seriously, I don't know. Like, wow. Yeah. Hello, 911. Yeah, I've got a demon. Send the police. What are we talking about here? Like, seriously, the police do not call preachers. I don't know what kind of wacky stuff was going on here, but if the police encounter somebody in that situation, they get a medical professional. They don't call a priest. That is not what they do, and rightfully so. That's ridiculous. I don't know. Like, this is even if it happened. What is South Africa doing? Do the police call upon priests in South Africa? Yeah, no, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Yeah, it looks like they've got a large Catholic contingent, so they may support the Catholic Church, but I don't know if that actually, you know. Oh, demonic 911. Wow, maybe it can be like Catholic priest 666. Dial 666 for an exorcism. That I don't know if that works. 777. Yeah.
My room was not right next to his study room, where I heard all the noises. I saw the people. I heard their testimonies. I experienced everything. The first time I saw this was around.
Oh yeah, well I'm convinced then. Yeah, no. If you've heard noises and heard testimony of people, and your father who relied on this for his popularity and livelihood and to keep his church going, no, I absolutely. Let's just throw science out the window. It's all just demons. Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm convinced. I'm convinced on the say-so of one person, one trad bro on YouTube. Absolutely.
Around 6, 7 years old. And as I grew up later, I also went with him. So I know the reality of demons. Just so you know.
And why can't you show other people this reality? Why is it impossible for you to take a camera to these demonic possessions to show us the supernatural stuff going on? Why is that impossible? Did camera phones only get invented like yesterday? Why aren't you showing the world this? This is the thing. Every time these people say, oh, well, I've seen all of these supernatural things and demons and things flying around and all of this testimony of what's happened, for some reason, they're never able to access a camera. Just cameras don't work in exorcisms, apparently. Maybe it's the spiritual energy burning them out. Hey, Brian, good to see you, mate. Am I wearing the same shirt? Are you okay? They're not even the same color. Okay. Demons are like vampires. They don't show up in cameras or mirrors or reality. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like they can never film it. And I've been in debates with people who claim to be exorcists. And it's like, why don't you film this and present it? Because you say that you've seen things, right? Because they don't just say, hey, I went in there and they're screaming and they're acting up, because that obviously can just be mental illness. That can be just somebody in a very tough situation. So they say, well, it's these supernatural stuff, supernatural things are going on. And the reason why they never film it is never explained. They're just like, no, I can't do that. And it's like, why not? You want to make people aware of the demons, show them. We've got really cool devices nowadays. But the more these devices are produced, the more camera phones we have, the more, things able to take video, the more these supernatural things vanish. And it's ridiculous.
Yes, people have psychological issues. Not everything is...
I think you have psychological issues. No, look, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist, but seriously, dude, if you can't show us this demonic possession, I see no reason to believe you at all. Like, you're just claiming this happens. And it's weird because obviously this guy's got 1.3 million followers on YouTube, and he can't operate a phone to take any footage of this whatsoever.
It's just demons. There's a lot of people who try to find a demon behind every bush. No, there are psychological problems, but then there are demons as well.
I'm sorry. What qualification do you have to distinguish psychological problems from freaking demons? I think there's just psychological problems. The thing is that I've met a whole load of people. If we're talking about we've heard people's testimony, I've heard from a lot of people coming out of religions. And the real unfortunate and the real horrible truth is, this is the horrible truth. They were convinced by all of the people around them that their psychological issues or their stress-induced, mania, or their seizures, or whatever it happens to be, was demons. They've been convinced of that. And once they're out of it, they're like, no, I understand. It is, people are schizotypical, have schizoid tendencies. People have delusions. People have all of these things. And there's never demons. As soon as they're out of it and sort of understand what it is, and we can talk about it and sort of, you know, have a professional make a mental health plan and start to implement medication and assistance to that person, the demon for some reason just, you know, that one's not a demon. Oh, but all the rest are. How do you know? But this entire scam of demonology and, you know, sort of exorcism, it relies on convincing people that demons are real, and that's the worst part about it. I'm not even sure that, like, he knows that he's conning people, but because he's convincing them of that, that's the way they act. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think you're possessed by demons and you're delusional or have a attack of schizophrenia, that's the way you're going to behave, because that's what you think. It is priming people for this, and that's what's so horrible about it.
And today there are trending things that people keep in their house that's demonic.
Oh,
and they
demonic.
don't know it. Even Christians. But
even
Ephesians,
Christian, not the Christians, not the dream catcher. Who knew? Who knew that string and a rock and a bit of wood can be demonic? It's demonic. Have we ever seen them do anything demonic? Have you ever captured this thing opening a portal to the underworld? I don't think so. Look, they're just pretty stuff you hang up. That's about it. They're kind of cool. They're kind of just, they're a dream catcher. Like, we don't think they actually catch dreams. They're just supposedly, they're supposed to catch bad dreams. That's it. But when you are peddling bullshit, you can't have anybody else's bullshit getting in the way of yours. This is the thing. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of viruses, right? That's what it reminds me of. Because what viruses do, viruses can actually help protect you against other viruses, right? So when a virus infects you, it tries to prevent any other virus from coming into your body and taking those same cells, because it's bad for the virus. And I feel like religion's the same. When you've got your bullshit out there, it kind of tries to stop any other bullshit from coming along and hijacking the mind that you've hijacked. Like, it's nonsense. None of this works. It doesn't stop bad dreams. The only way it could stop bad dreams if you look at it and say, hey, that looks pretty, and then have a good night's sleep. Like, wow. Hi, Mama. Pretty Mama. Hi, Big Bad Mama. So good to see you, mate. Yeah, my favorite people. Oh, Deviant, so good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Always welcome, Deviant Outcub. Spielkeb, hello. And Victoria is here. Demons are obviously scared of cameras. Yeah. And that's the thing. As our ability to record goes up, these incidences of supernatural events go way down. Way down.
5 verse 11 says, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them.
Well, expose them to a camera sometime, sir. Like, how can you say that and you haven't filmed a single incident? Come on now. Come on. You can't say, oh, expose them to the world. Yeah, you're doing a lot of that, aren't you? Or are you going into a back room where nobody sees it, nobody has any idea of what's going on, and saying that someone is possessed? I would say the latter.
Now, as Christians, should we not be doers of the word and not just hearers?
Oh, really? Oh, so just an ordinary day. So nothing unusual happened, Austin, basically. Ken getting spanked by Big Bad Mama is like a bi-weekly occurrence, sir. This is what you've got to understand. That is nothing new at all. Either him or that degenerate creationist crybaby, one of the two. They're both degenerates. Degenerate people who spank Kent. Absolutely spank Kent. I think I have a picture of Kent somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where would I have put that? Where would I have put that? You know what? When I started out this whole YouTube experience, my folders of like stuff definitely made sense to me. That has sort of grown out of control. It's definitely grown out of control. I will say that. Did it look like this? Is that what it looked like? Is that what it looked like? Is that what the spanking is? That a like? I mean, I don't have like a 300-pound man to do a recreation with in a blonde wig, so I'm gonna have to assume that's what it looked like. Yeah, and I saw that as well. Just the bewildering lack of understanding. I think Emma Thorne's awesome as well. I do watch her Little Duck. I like being called a little duck by Emma Thorne is awesome. Because aren't we all little ducks, really?
Should we not have no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them? There are things.
Yeah, and what are you you're exposing nothing. You're just saying it happened. Like
out there that are dangerous to you and your family. Ooh. And we need to talk about these things. We need to expose them. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 22.
Okay, so the pentagram is obviously the sort of what again? Well, he was doing ban evasion. Did they actually ban him again? Did they actually ban him again? Did he lose Genesis Baptist Church? I'm going to laugh so hard if he did. I mean, I know that he lost his Kent Hovind official channel, which was deserved, but he's just doing ban evasion now by basically, yeah. Wow, yeah. Yeah. And rightfully so. He just did a ban evasion. Yeah, of course. He just, you know, he just has no idea. He just does ban evasion and says, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You've got to abide by YouTube terms of service. We all agreed to it. You've got to abide by it. You know, you may not agree with it, but you've got to abide by it. That is all. Like, they're not some kind of free speech government. They're a company, and you must abide by the terms of service or go onto another platform. He's on Rumble. What's your problem? I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, the pentagram was actually a symbol of protection. It was more the Satanists. Yeah, she mentioned on the weekend. Yeah, she did. Yep. Absolutely. And that he was just ban evading and YouTube was doing nothing about it. Yeah. So I think she's right to call attention to this kind of stuff. He is violating the terms of service. He is violating conditions. So, yeah. But the pentagram was sort of hijacked by the Satanists and, you know, people like Alexander Crowley and people like that to be a thing. Hippity hoppity all. Yep. Goodbye. Yep. Boop. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Banhammer's in the chat for that one. Wow, what a racist piece of crap. Yeah. The pentagram is a sign of the werewolf? Is it now? I thought it was a protective thing. Well, I mean, it was never associated with a goat until the Satanists got hold of it. And I think it was just a, you know, as a, yeah, I believe so. A beauty and protection. Yeah. Yeah. I think it was very innocuous, like very, very, you know, not associated with evil in any way. The Satanists got hold of it and sort of used it as a symbol of Satan, but it was ages old before that. It doesn't have that connotation.
It says, abstain from every form of evil.
Yeah. Abstain from every form of evil, but racism is perfectly fine. Wow, these people suck. I'm not talking about the guy in the thing. I've got no idea what his beliefs are. But the person in the chat, big old banhammer. Perfect form of the human body. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. Because it kind of, I mean, it would, there's that Leonardo da Vinci painting, which is the, what is it? It's the Proportions of Man or something, I think it's called. Oh, the Vitruvian Man. Yeah. Vitruvian Man, which is kind of, you know, I mean, people have even said that has some kind of, oh, it's Rembrandt's? No, it's Da Vinci. What are you talking about? No. Da Vinci. Yeah. Gotcha. The Vitruvian Man, yeah. But some people have said that has some sort of occult meaning in it because of the proportions, and it doesn't. It's just, you know, it's just showing the sort of proportions and, you know. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it is. I was given that Maverick guy a really hard time in Matters Now's chat. Actually, I was absolutely roasting him. So yeah, that's okay. I mean, he's got so few brain cells. It's not surprising to know that he's a racist and stuff. You know, so few brain cells. Did Aristotle use it? Really? Let's have a look. Pentagram. Let's see. What's the origin? It's found on Sumerian property. 5-point star at various times as a symbol of Ishtar or Marduk. So it was associated with Mesopotamian deities. The pentagram symbols from about 5,000 years ago were found in China. Okay. Pentagram was known to ancient Greeks. Yeah, Neoplatonism, the pentagram was used as a symbol or sign of recognition by the Pythagoreans, who caused the pentagram health, or Hygia. Yeah. There's nothing sort of evil or... Yeah, let's get another ban hammer out. Oh, look, if any of the mods are in chat, do feel free to ban any of these idiots. Yeah, I mean, it's just Maverick. Ban. Goodbye. Yeah, they're being banned, absolutely. That's auto ban. So if any of the mods see it, auto ban. Feel free, auto ban anybody that comes on that is doing that stuff. Look, he'll get sick of it eventually. Trolls are trolls. They just want some thing. No, I don't think I have too few mods, Deviant. I think they're just not here at the moment. But you are here. So do you want to be a mod? Do you want to be one of my mods, Deviant? I will give you a mod power. Just I wouldn't mind having you on Discord if you will. No, only if you want to. Only if you want to. But do you have me on Discord? Just make sure you're available on Discord, just in case I need to grab hold of you for any direction or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just so I can contact you. There you go. I think I know you well enough, Debian. And actually, yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Hey, Mars, I don't even know who that is. I've got no idea who that is.
Now, I know some of the content in this video might be shocking to some people, but please understand my background.
Christians getting upset about nothing? Oh, yeah, shocking. Shocking. I've never seen that before. Never seen it before. Shocking. The
experience, and what I'm going to tell you today is biblical as well. Now, the first thing you need to do is to ask God to reveal the things in your house that you need to get rid of that might be demonic. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 13 says, And we impart this in words not taught by human wisdom.
Really? Was the Bible written by a god? Oh, it's inspired. Yeah, so it's not taught by human. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So according to, yep.
But taught by the Spirit, interpreting spiritual truths to those who are spiritual. So we are in spiritual warfare, and that's why you need this.
Against what? Spiritual warfare against what? Like, because if I'm in a warfare against something, I can't even, that I can't even show you what it is. Like, what? Where is this enemy? Please point them out. What are you in warfare over? He doesn't even know. He has no idea. Whoop. Yeah, it's the same person. Like, it's just people that can't debate, can't come up with arguments. They'll just spam chat with nonsense because that's all they have. This is unfortunately, this person in the chat is the best Christianity has to offer, because you know their heroes and their so-called, you know, big guns won't even debate people. They're basically running scared. Every time they're in a debate, they have to switch to another topic. So it's time to call them out, I think. You know, like, if this person has an enemy, show me the enemy. Like, if we have, I don't agree with the war on drugs, but at least they could show me some drugs. You know, and the war on terror, they could at least demonstrate that there were terrorist acts. I don't think, like, you are literally going, oh, I'm having a war on things in my imagination. Oh, they're not in your imagination? Show them to me then. Oh, you can't. Whoops. Then why should I believe you? It's like you're having a war against Snuffleupagus. It's ridiculous.
Spirit to help you with spiritual warfare. And the Holy Spirit knows all truth. And when you pray to him and ask him for guidance, he will help you. He will tell you when something is not from God. Apart from giving you...
Well, see, look, that's not their war, though. That's the thing. Like, so this is the funny thing. They're saying that we're doing a war on Christmas when most of us quite enjoy Christmas and think it's a good time of the year generally. Like, it's, you know, you get time off work and things like that. You know, there's no war against Christmas.
Discernment between what is right and wrong. He also gives you peace. When you don't have peace about something in the spirit, you know this is not right. If you doubt about something and go ahead with it, it might be sin. If you doubt, if you don't have that peace, get rid of it. We read an example in Romans 14 verse 23. But whoever has doubts is condemned if he eats, because eating is not from faith. For whatever does not proceed from faith is sin.
What doesn't? I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
We read an example in Romans 14 verse 23. But whoever has doubts is condemned if he eats, because eating is not from faith.
So if you eat without faith, you are condemned. What? What? I've heard of mindful eating and binge eating. I've never heard of faith eating. What? Yeah, apparently one of the demonic and possessed things is food. Apparently, yes. No, it's my cereal in the morning. Apparently, it's just, yeah. No, demons famously get to you through unfaithful eating. Famously. Wow.
For whatever does not proceed from faith is sin. So, what does not proceed by faith is sin. In other words, if you don't act according to the Holy Spirit, You act in the flesh, you will sin. So if you have doubt, then it is sin, because you're not.
Yeah, and this is the stupidity of this worldview. If you doubt the truth of what my religion said, it's sort of it's a sin, and you can basically be judged for not believing my religion without sufficient evidence. That's essentially what you're doing. You're saying, hey, I don't believe it, what you have to say. You have to demonstrate it. And then you're basically saying, well, if you don't credulously believe this with no sufficient reason whatsoever, that's on you. Really? The funny thing is that they're not intellectually consistent, right? They won't look at that same thing for other religions. Like, so if they don't believe in Islam and somebody says, hey, well, you have to have faith in Islam, you have to just believe it without, they will demand evidence. They will say, no, you can't do that. You have to have evidence. That is the scam. It's basically believe what I believe without evidence and be super critical of everything else. Is that intellectual consistency? Of course it's not. It's special pleading for your own. Like when you demand evidence for other religions, I agree with you. We should have that evidence. It's just you make an exception for your own religion because you think that you should have faith in that. And I do like the definition of the Bible for faith. I'll just have to recall it. The definition in the Bible for faith is believing with, oh God, what is it? It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen, I think. Is that it? Yes. Give me one sec. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. So the thing is that it's a nonsensical statement. It doesn't make sense because things that are hoped for don't have substance, and the things that are unseen isn't evident. It isn't evidence. So it's a total paradox. It makes no sense. Like their entire idea of faith is just nonsense. It's just believing something based upon nothing at all. Yeah, and I mean, I was talking to some pre-subs recently, and I'll try to release that video. I promise I will try to release that video as soon as possible. They sort of said, okay, well, can you be sure about anything? And I'm like, no, I have differing levels of confidence. And then they were sort of, well, then you don't know anything. And it's like, well, hold on. Like this black and white thinking, unless you are absolutely 100% sure, then you don't know whatsoever. That is black and white thinking. It's either all or nothing, right? It's not any kind of in the middle where you say, hey, I'm 99.9% confident of this, so I will say I know it. And, I might be 70% confident, so I'm going to say, hey, I'm pretty sure of this. This whole range of confidence is based upon the evidence that you have. And they sort of go, well, no, if you're not 100%, then you don't know it. It's really weird. It's really strange. Like that they go through their life saying, oh, I'm absolutely confident about everything because I have discernment from God, and then screw up all the time. They don't seem to have any special knowledge that the rest of us don't have access to, except the claim that their God exists. Something that they can't actually show or justify in any way. That is the only special knowledge that they seem to claim to have. Because going through life, they have the same problems as the rest of us, with not knowing what's happening here or not knowing how this thing will turn out there. It's only the God claim that we can't check that they claim to have this special knowledge of, which is ridiculous. They don't have any special knowledge. You're not special. You're not chosen. You're just another person with another God claim. Get in line. And until you can actually show that it's true, I don't believe you, because you show nothing, and faith is useless. You can believe just anything at all on faith. There's nothing that you can't believe on faith. It's useless for finding out what's true. And here's the thing. They think that believing it really strongly substitutes for good reasons. Oh, I've got total conviction. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because if you don't have good reasons for it, it doesn't matter that you 100,000% believe it. It doesn't make it any more true. Oh, I know because God gives me the knowledge to. Yeah, how do you know that? You don't. They don't. They just, if they think that if they don't admit that they aren't 100% sure, then they must be right. That is self-delusion. That is saying, hey, I've convinced myself this so hard, I'm not even going to consider the chance I may be wrong. That doesn't make you right. It just means you think you can't be wrong. And nobody's wrong like someone who thinks they can't be wrong. It's wild. It's a wild place to put you in, sort of mentally speaking. Like the way people do that is incredible.
Acting in faith. You're not acting in the peace and discernment that God gives you. Now, the first thing you need to get rid of in your house is any demonic symbols. Now, this can be...
Oh, clothing. Oh, it's a scarf. Where are the demonic symbols? Is it just because it's tie-dye? Is tie-dye a demonic symbol now? Any demonic symbols? Uh-oh.
on clothes, jewelry, paintings, ornaments, or any other home decor.
Those are just African statue. What's demonic about them? Could you describe what's demonic about them? I don't know if you're seeing this. I am so hot in this fucking room, to be honest with you. This is horrendous heat. Whew. Yeah, as we say in Australia, it's going to be a scorcher this year, mate. A scorcher. Whew. Yeah, I mean, we know that's subjective, Darren. We know that's subjective. I suppose it isn't. I suppose that you know your sports ball team can be objectively the best by stats or whatever. I suppose you're right. But yeah, basically that's it. It's just sort of saying, hey, if I never admit that my team loses, they haven't lost. Really? You actually think that?
Decorations. Now, there are the straightforward signs that they use even in Satanism.
Yeah, I got a symbol from Demons Are Us. I'm not sure if I should take it out or not. What was this guy's name? Daniel? Daniel, could you tell me if I should pack in the Demons Are Us symbol that I got? Look, the British Museum should empty its vaults, but probably to give back all the stuff they stole from natives around the world, to be honest with you, Left-Handed Jedi. Not because of demons, just because of colonialism, really.
The inverted pentagram, or showing it with the goat, or the all-seeing eye, or the Leviathan cross, or even...
Is that the Leviathan? What? The Leviathan cross? Is that what that is? The Leviathan cross. Okay. The cross of St. Peter? Oh, yeah, I'm sure they would include Ankhs among that, right? Or the Eye of Horus, which are not satanic symbols. They're Egyptian, right? I'm just looking through a list of stuff. So the inverted pentagram with a goat is the sign of Baphomet. So that Leviathan cross, as he calls it, is actually the symbol for brimstone in alchemy. So I'm not 100% sure Apparently that is the symbol for. Okay, so apparently that is the alchemical symbol for black sulfur or horse sulfur. So apparently it's just an alchemical symbol. We could make a bridge out of mud. Are you trying to say I'm made of wood? Why do they burn? Okay, I'm not sure. Is that because I'm hot? Is that because I'm so hot? I don't know. I'm so confused. Oh, I'm not so confused. I'm just a little confused. Yeah. So the Leviathan cross. I think that was added later. I think that originally it was just the satanic symbol for sulfur, black sulfur. That's also, sulfur, fire and brimstone, hell, must be demonic. Okay.
Or even the horned hand.
The horned hand. Did he do the $2 bill yet? Oh yeah. Look at this. So one of the demonic things that you've got to take out of your house is money. I knew it. Get rid of the money. Burn it. What? Like, are you serious? Yes. Money, definitely demonic. Yes. The Illuminati and so on and so forth. The Freemasons rule the country, Yeah.
Or the all-seeing eye, or the Leviathan cross, or even the horned hand.
The horned
which
hand.
Many young people use today to show when they take photos and think it's cool. Now, I understand a lot of people who like rock and roll, they show this sign as well, but you need to understand where it came from.
Does he understand where it came from? Because I looked this up. I know where it comes from. It was actually popularized by Black Sabbath. The sign of the horns, right? It was popularized by Black Sabbath, but it was actually and it was Levian Satanism. The horns was used a traditional salute, but it actually came from heavy metal. And Ronnie James Dio, he said his Italian grandmother used it to ward off the evil eye. So it actually originates from a sign seen in Italy and other Mediterranean, cultures when confronted with unfortunate events, or simply when these events are mentioned. The sign of the horns may be given to ward off further bad luck. It's also used traditionally to counter or ward off the evil eye, or witches putting some kind of curse on you. So in Italy specifically, the gesture known as the corna or horns with fingers pointing down is a common Mediterranean apotropaic, which I think means mystical, I think. Yeah, sort of, folk magic kind of thing. Gesture with people seek protection in unlucky situations kind of thing. So yeah, it's sort of folklore and just a superstitious sign. So he doesn't know where it comes from. It's not a satanic thing at all. It's a traditional Mediterranean thing, which is just, of course he doesn't. Of course he has no idea. Of course he says, do you know where that came from, while not knowing where it came from.
And what it is actually used for. I used to show this sign myself when I was partying, before I became a reborn Christian, when I drank a lot. But then God saved me and opened my eyes to so many things.
Like demons, right? Like demons. Like demons. You know what? I want to make a shirt that says God is unbelievable, and then underneath I say, like, literally, I don't believe it. I would like that shirt. I really would. That would be hilarious.
Horned hand is a symbol of the goat, pointing to Lucifer, the devil.
No, it's not. It's an old Mediterranean symbol to ward off bad luck. It's the same as throwing salt over your shoulder or not walking underneath a ladder. That's all it is. I can be on it. Sure, I guess.
Now, the second thing you need to get rid of in your house is any other religious object
Why any other one?
or sign. And this can be from Buddhism, Hinduism, Native American religion.
Oh, that is AI generated for sure. Not a bad job, but you know, I think that the headdress, that was not part of a lot of Native American cultures, and it's kind of insulting because the chief would not be a woman in most circumstances. Just saying.
African ancestor worship objects, or even pagan objects from Norse mythology.
Oh, pagan objects from Norse. Yeah, watch out. Thor, big mad. Big mad. Why?
And others. When people travel a lot and they come back home, they take souvenirs of the country they visited. I've been to over 20 different countries, traveled a lot, and experienced a lot of different cultures and peoples. But what people forget is these souvenirs.
Yeah, and that's like I was saying earlier. Like, you know, these religions, they try to make their worshippers immune to any other virus getting into their heads. It sort of is this, oh, make sure you get rid of those other religions. You know, don't get swayed by them. It's almost it's very strange. Other households are just like, here's all these bunch of religions, and usually the ones that will allow people to look at multiple religions will believe in none of them because they all make the same claims. I mean, some people do sort of take a you know, have holistic beliefs based upon a lot of different religions, but you know, a lot of people will just end up believing none of them because they can't all be true.
It's connected to these people's beliefs. A lot of the souvenirs, I'm not talking about everything, but especially those that's connected with their religion, with their gods. And you need to understand that these gods are real.
Oh, their gods are real. Oh, interesting. Who knew? Zeus is real. Who knew? So it wasn't Yahweh throwing lightning bolts. The flood was Poseidon, maybe. That's what's happening. The flood was Thor fighting Jormungandr, the world serpent. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was all true. I knew there's no frost giants around. I knew that the Norse one was true. Hail Odin. That's it. Hail Odin. We're going Norse here. We're going. You know, send a Valkyrie. We're going Norse. Let's do it. Let's freaking go.
But they're not gods. They're demons.
Oh.
So they have a lot more power than humans, and they look like God.
Okay. Just as I said that, this is just coincidence, right? Just as I said that, just as I said, let's go Norse, and maybe a couple of seconds afterwards, a Steam notification popped up saying that one of my friends has just started playing a game called Valheim, which is a Norse themed, you know, survival game kind of thing, which is hilarious to me. If I was a Christian, or like if I was a Norse believer, I would be like, oh look, it's a sign. It's a sign from Odin that Norse is real. This is what they do. Like, just because that popped up, it confirms that, you know, because somebody started playing a Norse themed game with, you know, the elements of Thor and Odin in it, that you know, my belief in how do you pronounce that tree? I used to know this. Yggdrasil. Anyway, the world tree is true, and Thor and his ravens are, you know, it's just so ridiculous. And it's just coincidence. That's all it is. It's just a coincidence.
When we look back in history, we see that people worship other gods. There was a reason for it.
Yeah, Yahweh was just one of the gods in a pantheon. Did you know that? Cross Power Boy. I did you know that Yahweh had a brother by the name of Baal, and he wasn't the chief god. The chief god was El. And he had a consort at one time, Asherah. They were kind of all meshed into one. Yggdrasil. Yeah, I gotcha. Yggdrasil. Yep. It's too hot for this. Like, seriously, even this like backdrop I'm doing is making me feel hotter. I shouldn't have chosen it. It was a terrible decision. Hold on a second. Hold on. I got to cool myself down here. This is ridiculous. Watch out, Mark. This is what hell's gonna feel like. Okay, and we're a lot cooler now. All right. Let's just calm down on that heat. Maybe if a raven brought them, yeah, man. If a raven showed up, it's a sign. But this is the caliber of signs that we get from these Christians. Oh, I was driving along, I thought of my ex, and then they rang, kind of thing. It's like, oh. Stress on the first syllable. Look, I don't need stress. I've got enough stress. Thank you. Mark is mocking Los Angeles. No, I'm not. I feel for them. I'm in the same boat, different ocean. Quite frankly, I mean, I'm on the Indian, not the Pacific, but same boat, different ocean. Look, okay. So California, there's nothing they could have done to stop that. Is there anything they could have done to mitigate it? Yeah, probably. They didn't do controlled burns because they said it was too dangerous. I think they probably needed to do those controlled burns, even though, they can't allow it to get out of control, but some controlled burns where they could is probably a good idea. Vertagen.
Because they experience supernatural things from demons.
Oh, do they?
We also see scripture calling Satan the god of this world. Small.
No, I got you. -1. I got you. Got equals square root of -1. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm joking. I'm good. Yeah. All good, my friend. All good. Yeah. It's just I really feel for the Californians. I really do. It's rough. It's rough. We have had some horrendous bushfires over here. I know you guys call them wildfires, but yeah. It's not the heat that's the problem. It's the wind. The wind is the problem. It is that the wind picking up those embers and absolutely scattering them around, like just making them travel faster than the firefighters can get to them. That's the problem. Deviant, so statues adorn my home because you like them. Yeah. They are now actual gods living in those statues. Funny. Well, apparently they're demons, Deviant. They're demons. How Yahweh can't live in a statue. Oh, yeah. Definitely keep statues around. Yeah, it's hilarious because they sort of say thou shalt not make graven images, and then all of them wear crosses. It's actually funny. It's so funny.
Letter G. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 4. In their case, the god of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel.
Sorry, what? So God's making me an unbeliever because he wants me to believe. Could someone explain that to me? I just want to back up a little there.
In their case, the god of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers to keep them from seeing the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ.
The god of this world. I might get some context on this one because it really does sound. Do they mean the god of this world as in like the god of the earthly realm kind of thing? Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're doing? Is that? What was it? 4:4. Oh, that's 1 Corinthians. Okay. The god of this age, says NIV. What does KJV say? I feel like this is a KJV guy. I've got a funny feeling. Or maybe he's Catholic. There is a large Catholic contingent in South Africa. Maybe he's doing the Catholic one. Let's see what she says. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not. Is this talking about the same God? I'm very confused.
Who is the image of God? Now, if you watch my series on this, the time before the flood and after.
Oh, I gotta bookmark this guy. Our forgotten past. He's also a conspiracy nut. Oh, the forgotten world. Ah, yeah, that's definitely historically accurate. Wait, why does that dude have a Zeus head on him? What is that? This is so bewildering. What is that man doing to that one-horned goat? I don't. What is going on? What am I watching here? What is that man doing to that one-horned goat? That's cursed. That whole thing on the right-hand side there. That's just cursed. That is what that is. Wow. Okay.
The flood and after the flood, which you can see on DLM Main's lifestyle channel, you will understand how these other religions started. I'll link it for you in the video description and also at the end of this video. Now, the Bible says in Deuteronomy 32, verse 17, they sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known.
Yeah, what's the bet that they called Yahweh the demon and their gods are real? You know, they don't want to take that bet. They don't want to take that bet. So we've had any occult symbols. We've had any other religion symbols. So I am keeping track. I mean, I could do a counter or something if you want, I guess. But yeah, we've got two so far. Oh, thank you, Pragmatic Crystal. It's really good to see you.
To new gods that had come recently.
Oh, recent gods that have come. Okay, we've got modern gods,
whom your fathers had never dreaded. Now, fast forward from the Old Testament, hundreds of years later, in the New Testament.
Hundreds of years later, really? Real? Okay.
Truth is still truth. Nothing changed. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 19 says, what do I imply then? That food offered to idols is anything? Or that an idol is anything? No, I imply that what pagans sacrifice, they offer to demons and not to God. I do not want you to be participants with demons.
Yeah, so basically we can blame Paul for all of this satanic panic. It goes back to Paul, as it often does. Like, Paul is... in the Bible, Paul is this weirdo. He's this weird guy who says there's demons and there's and you know, has a real negative view of women, and you know, he really is this horrendous guy. And what you've got to remember is that Paul never actually lived during the time of Jesus. Paul only had a vision of Jesus after he died, allegedly. So he never actually met the man. It was kind of one of those things where this guy just sort of took over their church and sort of said all these horrendous things. Yeah, and magic and possession. He really was just, you know, allegedly he saw all of these stuff. Allegedly.
You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the table of the Lord and the table of demons. So you need to get rid of...
It's basically like my ex, you know, like, it doesn't work. Gotcha. Paul was great at parties. Yeah. I get that. He basically, so what he relies on, what Paul relies on, is what we'd say nowadays would be called spectral evidence, visions and dreams and, you know, revelations and things like that. It's not admitted into court for a very good reason. It's because there's no way to tell what's an actual vision from what somebody is just making up in their own head. There's no way to distinguish between the two. So Paul is kind of this whacked out guy that sort of, said all of this stuff, and they draw upon him so much.
Things like Buddha statues or paintings.
Oh, come on now. What did Buddha do? Buddha's just a happy big guy. Come on now. Let's not hassle Buddha.
Of Buddha or Hindu gods, or even these African art that Sangomas, most of you know them as witch doctors, use.
Yeah, no, witch doctors aren't an African thing. No. Wow, okay. Whew.
Or things like dream catchers that Native Americans used to catch bad dreams.
Uh-huh.
If you have it, it can open the door for demons to actually give you bad dreams.
How does that work? How does that work exactly? Because I don't think dream catchers work. I've had a dream catcher. It did nothing to assuage my bad dreams or give me bad dreams or introduce me to any demons. Did none of the above. It did literally nothing. Where do wind chimes fall? Because I've often slept with wind chimes, outside the house as well. Where do frogs fall? I live in a place and sometimes we have frogs in our backyard. Where do frogs fall on that? I'm getting real confused on what's demonic and what's not. Got confused, dick stuck in Dreamcatcher. I don't understand any of this. Why Dreamcatcher? Like, seriously, they're just art to me. It's weird. Those web dreams. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I don't know. Some people find it annoying, Reed. I love Frog Song. I love Frog Song. I think it's so relaxing and nice. But I grew up with it, so I'm totally down for it. I love it. But other people do find it annoying, and I can imagine, like, I can understand why. The frogs around here and where I grew up make this weird bolt sound. It's weird echoing, like somebody hitting a very small drum kind of thing, and it's weird. It's nice though. I like it, but some people hate it. I'm good.
And many other things. For thousands of years, humanity created art, carved statues of gods, demons that they worshipped. But God warned his people never to do this. Leviticus 26 verse 1. You shall not make idols for yourselves.
Yeah. And I think one of the commandments was you shall not carve graven idols. And then you worship a guy on a cross. It's actually hilarious. We all find it funny. I hate to break it to you, but we all find it hilarious that you tell people not to worship graven idols, and then you literally worship a graven idol of a dude on a cross. It is funny. And it is kind of funny that it is the way the guy died. Like, all the things you worship, you don't worship his life, you worship his death. That's really dark and grim and horrible. Like, because seriously, you should, celebrate. If he was such an amazing man, you should celebrate the way he lived, not the way he died. Like, it's just, no wonder he hasn't come back yet. Remember George Carlin doing a bit like, oh, are they still wearing crosses? Yeah, I'm not going back there. There's no way. They're still wearing crosses, Dad. I'm not going back. It was a great stand-up. Love Carlin. Was it Carlin? It may have been Bill Hicks. I'm not 100% sure, but that isn't my joke. That's some comedian's joke. But it's true. Like, if I had died, if I was loved by everybody and I died of electrocution, say, and then everybody was wearing pendants with me around their neck and a piece of wire electric, I would be like, why are you happy about this? Wow.
Or erect an image or pillar, and you shall not set up a figured stone in your land to bow down to it, for I am the Lord your God.
And what's hilarious is they've literally put like the 10 commandments on a block of stone and like worshipped it. It's actually hilarious. Yep. And they carve, Jesus Christ out of marble and worship it. The irony is hilarious. I find it hilarious, but they don't get it because they're not self-aware.
For I am the Lord.
It kind of reminds me, there was a statue, and I remember seeing this, I think it was on John Oliver or something. It was a statue of Robert E. Lee, the Confederate general, or they wanted to do a statue of they want to take down that statue of Robert E. Lee. And Robert E. Lee himself said, don't put up a statue to me. We should not celebrate war and division kind of thing. He wasn't a great fan of putting up statues to people because they got into wars. He was just, and they still put up a statue to him. Like, it really is, against his wishes. It's
Your God. Now, you might say, well, I don't see it that way. I just use it as a decoration. Well,
yeah, cicadas are pretty bad, I must admit. We get cicadas as well, and they're pretty bad. They can be annoying, and I know what you mean. It's sort of locating them can be troublesome.
You might see it that way, but that doesn't mean that demons are going to see it that way. They're going to see it differently because...
Oh, have you asked them? What's their take on it? Maybe they're like, hey, dude, we're just over here minding our business. What way are they going to take it, and how do you know this? Can we have an exit poll for demons, please? On the way out of their exorcism. Did he do that? Did he exorcise a demon, cross up and, leave this child in the name of the Lord? By the way, just an exit poll. What do you believe about people? This is how demons see it. It's important to understand how the demons see it. Yes, yeah. No, I'm totally not your imagination at all.
You are giving them access into your house, into your life, over your family. You allowed it into your home. And so why would you, as a true child of God, allow anything evil in your house?
Because I don't believe it exists, and you haven't shown any reason why I should believe it exists. You're basically saying, if you wear black, you're going to invite the boogeyman into your... And look, the boogeyman wants you to wear black because that's what the boogeyman likes. You sound ridiculous. And when we ask for evidence of the boogeyman, you say, oh, just have faith it exists. No. No. Look, I've had all kinds of stuff in my house. Never had a demon. Not one. Not even half a demon. Not even a small demon. Not even a little bitty one. None whatsoever. No demons. Absolutely not. None at all. And the fact that you can't show they exist is kind of telling, right? Like, you can't. You're just saying, hey, believe in the boogeyman. But I've never seen a boogeyman. It's never worried me. Oh, but believe it. This is priming. It's basically saying, hey, all the ills in your life are because of this curse. Next time something goes wrong, you're going to think of this curse. That's why they work. Because they don't. You just tell people that they're working and they'll associate that. So next thing something goes wrong, next time they drop a glass, oh, it's the demons. I should have listened to Daniel and his amazing demon advice about getting the dream catcher out of my bedroom. See, I broke this glass. It's got to be the demon. That's all it is. It's just fooling the gullible. That's all it is. And see, these exorcists, I don't even know if they are, if they're aware of it or not, because they seem to believe it so fervently, but it's not real. There's no demons. Never were.
If you do, then there's something wrong with your relationship with God.
Oh, something's wrong with... Do I need a relationship counselor? Do me and God need to go to relationship counseling? I find it difficult to have a relationship with somebody I've not seen, heard from, have any interaction with, won't show themselves. That somebody that you're in a relationship that you're unaware of and you never see them, that isn't a relationship. That's stalking. If I don't see them, I'm unaware of them, never talk to them, don't even know who they are, where they are, or what they do, they're in a relationship with me where they watch me, punish me, and judge me on my behavior, that is literally stalking. We've had, could you need to write, but babies can be real little lemons. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, maybe that's it. Maybe suddenly, hey, that could work. I could put a dream catcher up, and suddenly my wife will get pregnant. I'm a believer now. That's it. Seriously, I just, the weirdness of someone saying that you're in a relationship with God, and I've never seen them. Can they at least buy me dinner first? Like, seriously, I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that I don't know and have never met. That doesn't sound like a relationship. That sounds like I'm being catfished. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I'm in a relationship with God. You give him money every month and you never see, hear, or can interact with him in any way. Yeah, that's being catfished, my guy. That God ain't real.
Because you're not fully worshiping God as your Lord and Savior, truly with everything that is in you. You are not picking up your own cross, denying yourself, and following Jesus.
No, I'm not. Where is Jesus to follow? You've got to point him out. It's see, this whole thing is just believe it and you will believe it. It will become true. And that is, there's a kind of truth to that. If you believe hard enough that something is true, confirmation bias will kick in and you will see all the things that you believe. So if I believe with all of my heart, all of everything that I have in ghosts, I will suddenly get the evidence to confirm that ghosts are real. Is that a good way to operate in life? No. That's a terrible way to get to the truth. Because if you use confirmation bias, you will find the evidence for whatever it is that you fervently believe in. And that's all he's doing. He's saying, hey, if you believe it with all your heart, you will find this stuff to confirm it. Yeah, which is a terrible way to get to the truth, because you can literally do that for everything or anything. That's what confirmation bias is.
Because if you keep those things in the house, it clearly means that you put those things above God's word. It's more important to you. Isaiah 42 verse 8 says, I am the Lord. That is my name.
Really? The Lord is your name. That's a terrible name, dude. That's a terrible name. You're a believer now. I'm not fully sure what I'm a believer in, but it was all to just believe. Yeah. And I mean, Muslims say the same thing. Everybody says the same thing. But the funny thing is that con artists and swindlers say the same thing as well. You know, magicians, you've got to believe in the magic. You know, you've got to believe in the, fake martial arts, and then it will work. Yeah, of course it will. And you have to believe in order for it to work. It is just that belief that gets you the evidence that convinces you your belief is justified. That is literally confirmation bias.
My glory I give to no other, nor my praise to carved idols.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. The Christians are in trouble. He doesn't give praise to carved idols. No praise for Jesus on the crucifix there. Whoops. Oh, no.
Now, the third thing you need to get rid of is any occultic or new age objects. These might include things like tarot cards.
You know what? We've had tarot cards. I think my wife still has some tarot cards around. Like, I think there are Last Unicorn tarot cards. They're quite nice. They're quite pretty. She doesn't predict the future. She doesn't really predict anything. She just likes them because they're pretty. That's all they are. They're just pretty. They're just art. They're just nicely drawn. That is all. Yeah, we don't believe in that stuff. We've had them for ages. Never had demon. Yeah, I mean, they're quite nice, and they sort of, you know, have some sort of things you can do, but I don't take it seriously. At a point in my life, I did take it seriously. I think they could tell you a lot about yourself, but really it's just these vague statements that could be applied to nearly anybody out there. You know, like they were so vague. They're called Barnum statements, you know, the whole idea that you will have a hardship and then, you know, you'll meet somebody who will help you through it. it could be literally applied to anybody. And that's that confirmation bias kicking in again. So the religion virus tries to stop these other meme viruses from getting a hold of you by saying, oh no, kick out all this stuff. You're doing the same thing that tarot works on, confirmation bias. That's what you're doing.
And even good luck charms. A lot of people.
That was a horseshoe, sir. That was a horseshoe. What if you live on a ranch? What and goo? Yeah, good goo. What if you live on a ranch? It's just a horseshoe. It was lucky to have them up, although you didn't want to have them up because apparently the devil could sit on it. So that was weird.
Good luck charms. A lot of people, for some reason, I think because of entertainment, who use.
You mean like rosary beads and stuff?
Good luck charms influence people, and they carry things with them. They think.
You mean like a crucifix, for instance? You know, like a crucifix, for instance, like a good luck charm. Like you're gonna be blessed if you have a, you know, like. No, that's different. Oh, sorry, that's different. I'm sorry. That totally works. That totally works. I'm sorry. That one works. I forgot.
It brings them good luck. As Christians, we don't rely on good luck. That's superstition. That is not from.
Yeah, I remember that study. Yeah, and I think they did another one with just random stuff on it. It wasn't tied in at all, and they all agreed with it. They found things in it that they agreed with. No, apparently you can keep the double-headed dildo just fine so far. I mean, we've got what were the three that we've gone through? We've gone through occult symbols, other religion symbols, good luck charms. Yeah. If you've never had a demon, you might be the demon. That could be true, yes. By my demonology course. Yeah. And I really hate these exorcists. They are the worst of the worst, in my opinion. They are the lowest of the low, because they sort of prey on people's vulnerabilities. They really do. Like that they're not worthy. They convince people that they're not worthy. There's something wrong with them. And instead of actually getting help to, they offer them some bullshit.
God, we rely on his mercy, grace, blessing. We rely on his will for our lives. Proverbs 16 verse 33 says, the lot is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. Now, if you receive a good luck charm from a friend or family member, and they mean it for good, do not wear it, especially if it's like a rabbit's.
Do not wear it. A rabbit's foot.
Or recently I heard that some people are carrying around crystals as if it's going to bring them good luck.
Yeah, and crucifixes. They're carrying around those. Oh, sorry, those work. I forgot. Yeah, no, those ones work. Yeah, no. Somebody with a crucifix has never had bad luck. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, nobody who has worn a crucifix has ever had anything unlucky happen to them in their entire lives. I got you.
These things are evil. It's not going to bring you good luck, blessing. It's actually going to bring you the opposite. You're opening doors for evil.
Can we get a study on that? Can you cite a study that has shown that good luck charms bring bad luck? I really would like to see that. I really would like to see it. Oh, see, no, left-handed Jedi. Is it a Christian lighter? Does it look? You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. It has to be a Christian lighter, or else it probably won't even light up things if it's not a Christian lighter. It'll probably just fizzle out. Okay, because that doesn't work. It's only the cross and look. Get a crucifix lighter. Little Jesus on the front, just novelty lighter. I wonder if they actually have those. Jesus crucifix lighter. I firmly believe that the internet has everything, and these people have no sense of irony. So I'm leaning towards. I bet there is. I'm leaning towards it. Oh, sure they do. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 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 Check out this. Yep, it's your crucifix lighter for when you have to light a witch up and you want to do it without getting bad luck. Your Jesus crucifix lighter. Man, I could give that to Chris Mallard and he could make a thing of it. It's only useful. Yes, when you have to light up a bonfire for that witch and you have to do it the holy way. Absolutely. I love Chris Mallard's ads. I think they're amazing. I really do.
You are giving demons a foothold into your life to influence your life. Now, other things you also need to get rid of here is things or objects that help you to connect with the spiritual world or the dead.
Oh, you mean like the Bible? Like helps you commune with Jesus who's dead? Oh, no, not the Bible. That one's fine. Right, gotcha.
Leviticus 19 verse 31 says, do not turn to mediums or necromancers. Do not seek them out.
Is this who we're seeing as a demon, like a medium or a necromancer? I feel like, is there a lot of this going around? Is this what's happening? Like this dude? Surely he's LARPing. Surely he's live action role playing, right? Like surely. You know, I went for a tarot reading and this is the dude like you go to, right? What do you think is going on out there? What? This is not your medium. Like, does he really think necromancers are out there? Like, there's just a cabal of necromancers raising the dead over. Like, what do you think is happening? It's so weird, the world that this guy's living in, that, oh, you know, watch out, down the street, there's a family of necromancers who raise the dead upon occasion. I've heard their heavy metal music. I've seen them making the sign of the horns. What world are you living in? My guy, there's no necromancers. There's mediums, but they're fake. They don't do anything. Their power evaporates when, oh, wow. Oh, well, that's your name. That's Don from down the street. Yeah, Don the necromancer. Some can call me Tim. Tim the necromancer.
And so make yourselves unclean by.
Yeah, I don't even think that's what you'd see when you go to a medium. Like, seriously. Okay, Little Red Riding Hood. I don't. So I got like incense holder off Etsy, and that isn't even tarot cards. That's just a deck of cards. That's the cheapest medium I've ever seen. She's just got a deck. She hasn't even got the you know, pentagram laden tablecloth that she needs. Look, that's a cheap medium. That you're not paying good money for that. There's no way. That's a wish store medium. That's absolutely.
Then I am the Lord your God. So please hear me today. Do not keep things in your house like a Ouija board.
Ouija board was actually a game first. It was supposed to tap into your subconscious. It was actually popularized as a spiritual thing, as in The Exorcist. So yeah, no, we're talking a necromancer, not a necromancer Jedi. You're not putting the space in there, mate. Like, that's the thing.
A crystal ball that tells you the future, or
oh, crystal balls tell the future. Do they now? Can you show me that working? I would love to see a crystal ball tell me the future. Yeah, no, that's some bullshit right there. Yeah.
even using tea leaves, even in South Africa.
Oh, we can't have tea leaves in our houses now. Did you know tea leaves are demonic because you can read them? Should you maybe put a sign up saying, hey, do not read the tea leaves? Tea leaves. Tea leaves, yes. Yes, we can't have tea leaves anymore. People read them occasionally, or so I've heard, and tell the future upon occasion, or so I've heard. So they're obviously demonic. What about, do you have a lot of chicken bones in your house? Look, I'm not judging, okay? I just think it's Fine. Look, the butcher can take them out for you if you want.
Okay. Even among Christians, there are some women who say, no, they can read tea leaves. They can read the future. It is not from God. Where is that in the Bible?
I don't recall anything in the Bible saying that tea leaves were unholy either. Okay. Look, are you ready for this? Where in the Bible does it say that skateboarding is fine? So that's not from God. Where in the Bible does it say making YouTube videos is it fine? So that's not from God. Your logic is just terrible. If it's not in the Bible, it's not from God. So where is it in the Bible that trimming your hair is fine? Where in the Bible does it say reading by lamplight is fine? Where in the Bible does it say driving a car is fine? No, it doesn't say that. So it's not from God and it's demonic. This is the stupidest logic I have seen in quite some time. Yeah, where does it say football is okay? Exactly. It's demonic. I hate to tell you this, mate, but everything in the Bible is from the time period of the Bible. They didn't seem to know that people have you know, more inventions and different things. They didn't seem to know that for some reason. So yeah, reading tea leaves, they didn't have tea leaves in the Bible. Why? Because tea leaves weren't in the area. Dear. Where did tea leaves originate? Weren't they from China? Tea leaves origin. I think it was from China. I think. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, China or India. Yeah, Kenya, Sri Lanka. Yeah. So, they produce them, but that's not where they're from. Yeah, they're originating around Central Asia, basically. So, why would they mention tea leaves in ancient Levant when they come, they don't mention eucalyptus leaves either. It's so ridiculous.
Divination, seeing what will happen in the future, all these things are from evil.
You mean like the revelations predictions that you've made in your own videos? Oh no, that's from the Bible. I forgot. Yeah, that's real. No, all the rest are fake. That one's real. I forgot. Oh, so silly.
God can also let you know about certain things that might happen as you pray, but that's different. That is God himself talking.
I have you and Lance independent open actively modding there came to like. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure what that means. You and Lance independent open. Oh, got you. Thank you, Nitty. I really appreciate it. Lance independent. Yep.
To you and confirming it in his word and through other believers. But this is something else. Necromancy also, for example, is forbidden.
I'm sorry, are there a lot of people being raised from the dead in Pretoria? Because it doesn't happen very often where I'm from. I don't understand. Do you have a problem with necromancy where you're from? Are there a lot of corpses wandering around? Was there a zombie apocalypse that I just missed while I sweltered away in my little room here? Is this something that's happening? What? This is crazy. What world do you live in where there's necromancers hiding around every corner and demons popping up out of the Ouija board and Dreamcatcher and stuff? It's ridiculous, sir. Like you are jumping at shadows. You've been primed to think that some demon's going to leap out at you and, make you suffer. Come on, dude. Grow up. Like, seriously. Grow the fuck up. This is real life. I don't have time for your children's stories. Like, seriously. There's no demons. Life is hard enough. without making people scared of, like, you know, spooks and specters and spirits and demons and ghosts and necromancers, really? I think that has broken me. That's one too far. Like, I was putting up with the demons, I was putting up with the spirits, I was putting up with the small g gods. I think necromancers just broke me. Like, that's it. That's yeah. Oh, Jim Bob, yeah, give him my best. I know he's scared of me. Absolutely petrified. Damn Muggles. Right. Like necromancers. Wow. So all the Slytherin. So, you know, don't have Slytherin. I bet he would get angry about Hogwarts being in your house too. I bet that's demonic possessed. Oh boy.
Talking to people who are dead. You can't do that because they are dead.
You're right.
Dead from this world, but they are either in paradise or in hell. They can't hear you. Only
really? There's no purgatory anymore, I suppose. Purgatory? You ever heard of purgatory? No? Purgatory non-existent now? No purgatory. Wasn't purgatory made up because too many Christians were sending their children to heaven? Yeah, it's a medieval invention. Yes. Yep. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
God can, and demons who can pretend to be dead family members. And that's exactly what you see a lot here in the African culture in South Africa, who do ancestor worship. When these beings appear to them as if they are their dead grandmother, grandfather, or people in their family.
Would that be associated with any particular skin color, sir, that you're talking about? Hold it.
Those are demons pretending to be humans.
Oh,
specifically humans that passed away. Deuteronomy 18 verse 10 says.
Yeah, and what evidence do we have of this? None whatsoever. None.
There shall not be found among you anyone who burns his son or his daughter as an offering. Anyone who practices divination or tells.
Well, what about somebody that crucifies his son as an offering? What about that? Because God crucified his son as an offering to himself to forgive humanity for rules made up by himself.
Fortunes or interprets omens, or a sorcerer or a charmer or a medium or a necromancer or one who inquires of the dead. For whoever does these things.
Does that include like crime scene analysis? Are they inquiring of the dead? Like if you get forensics in, is that demonic? I want to know where the line is, because if you work with entrails and do divination, then you're obviously evil. I get you. But if you're a forensic guy and you analyze stuff and say, hey, this is how the crime was committed and this is where we'll find them, is that witchcraft? I'm confused.
Is an abomination to the Lord. Isaiah 8 verse 19 says, and when they say to you, inquire of the mediums and the necromancers who chirp and mutter.
Oh, this guy's a necromancer if ever I've seen one. Yeah, I got a guy, Barry, down the street. He's a necromancer and he looks exactly like this. It's Barry the necromancer. This is so sad. It's like a fantasy world. It's like someone's read fantasy books and gotten caught up thinking there's necromancers everywhere.
Should not a people inquire of their God? Should they inquire of the dead on behalf of the living? You see, you cannot live for God and the world.
I'm sorry, you cannot live for God or the world. Oh. Yeah, I'd rather live for the world because I know the world exists. And I kind of don't live for the world as much as the humans in it. It's very weird to say you live for the world. It's a very strange thing. They kind of make this distinction between the spiritual and the earthly. And, oh, if you're not living for the spiritual, you're living for the earthly. And that's bad. And it's like, yeah, but at least the earthly, I'm aware it exists. It's really weird.
Bible says one thing and your culture says another thing, and you follow your culture, then you sin. You need to follow God's word in everything. There are many things in our culture that are not biblically correct, and you need to stop doing it.
What's not correct? Is this going to be a charge into bigotry? Who thinks this is going to be a charge into bigotry? And we kind of lost the thread of things that you shouldn't have in your house, right? We kind of left that behind and just are on a don't trust necromancers. Well, I'm okay on that one. There's no necromancers that I'm aware of in my house. Not one necromancer. And I've looked twice. And this is, wow.
Or you can do it and be a lukewarm Christian and let God spit you out of his mouth, according to Revelation 3, verse 16.
Yeah, Revelations. Like
now, some of you might be offended by what I'm saying, but please.
I kind of feel sad for you. You're kind of like a grown-ass man pretending that, you know, fantasy characters are real. I kind of feel sorry for you. Not really offended. Not yet, anyway. But, you know, that last comment was close. Just prophesied. Yeah, it's a sign. It's a sign. I am the Lord your God.
Please do not be offended. Do not get emotional. Just look at the facts and look at scripture.
Like, it's hilarious to see a guy who's sitting there going, God will spit you out and you're a fake, and then go, don't get emotional. Are you serious right now? Like, you're literally getting emotional about God, and then you like, don't get emotional. You know, it's like those guys that lose the plot and they're so angry and they're like, oh, you're just being emotional. It's just like, wow, have you looked at yourself recently, sir?
I'm saying this with a lot of love, and we need to speak the truth in love if we truly love each other and want each other to be saved and not go to hell. Now, the fourth thing you need to get rid of is any form of witchcraft in your house. Now, this can be books witchcraft. Or anything actually connecting to witchcraft.
So I've got a pot. Is that a cauldron? It's rather large pot for making stew. Do I have to toss that because it's technically a cauldron? Maybe it's cauldron adjacent. Maybe it's a big cast iron pot. Does that count? Does that not count? I'm confused. Please explain.
There's nothing out there in the spiritual world like this mysterious energy that you can tap and use for power.
No, I agree with that. I 100% agree. There's nothing out there in the spiritual world. Actually, I'll go one further. Spiritual world doesn't exist. If so, show me the spiritual world. Demonstrate the truth, the veracity of your claims. Go ahead. But you can't. Or you won't. One of the two. And while you're at it, tape your next exorcism. I want to see just how weird it gets. And see if there's anything supernatural, or whether it is just a troubled person who you are taking advantage of because you are a scumbag.
There's only God, his angels, and the fallen angels, and they do have power, and they can give their power to people, but at a great cost. So it is very important to get rid of everything that's connected with witchcraft. Some people might have objects that they don't even know.
I thought we already did tarot cards. Does that count under other religion symbols? What is a broom? I do own a broom. Oh, chat. Oh no. I own a broom. I do. I've got witchcraft in my house. I own a broom. Maybe it is the cat. Maybe it is the cat. He's going to get rid of the cat. It's going to be the cat. He's going to be the cat. Who called cat? Who called cat earlier? Somebody called cat. Will he go that far? Will he go that far? And I said, no, they never act against cats. You could be right. You could be right. You could be right. I'm going to do a poll because I feel like it. Yeah, Victoria, you could be. It was you, wasn't it, Victoria? You could be right. It is the most demonic household item. Like you okay, so we've got Satanic symbols. Garden. All right. Look, this isn't a write-in, Tops. Like, seriously, this isn't a write-in to Nebra Sin. This isn't a write-in, all right? Just select one of the options. I can't do a write-in, all right? Feeling neutral. Eye of Toad. That's just no more Eye of Toad. You're gonna have to throw out that sage. Throw out the sage. It's the sage. It's absolutely the sage. Absolutely the sage.
So let me just ask you, for example, do you have books of Harry Potter in your home?
Oh, there you
Exodus
go.
22 verse 18 says, "You shall not permit a sorceress to live."
Yeah, like this is absolutely Harry Potter character if ever I've seen it. Harry Potter character, absolutely. Yeah.
This is how serious God is against sorcery. So even if you have a book of Harry Potter or you bought a wand or something like that, get rid of it. Today, the
Evil eye
entertainment,
still, Kev. Evil
Hollywood,
eye.
controlled by the Illuminati, evil, Satan at the top.
Hollywood controlled by the Illuminati. Yeah.
They will change stories and make it very interesting for you to accept evil.
Look, Hermione made my pants shrink. That's where it's at. All right.
People today, they watch movies and series where they have werewolves and vampires and they have witches, you know, a lot of series about witches. And then Harry Potter, and people think, oh, it is cool. And they do make it look cool with the sound effects, with the music, with the special effects. But it is not cool. It is evil.
It is not real. There's nothing real about it. Oh, dear. Dear, oh dear. It's time to grow up. It's a book. It's a novel. It's just make-believe. Like, you don't think that Lord of the Rings, which has Gandalf's this evil sorcerer that tries to capture you. Come on, man. What are you talking about? This is ridiculous.
True witchcraft is evil. Sorcerers, mages, witch.
There is no true witchcraft. Like, does he get it? There's like, what fantasy world do you live in where people are wandering around doing magic, dude? It doesn't happen. It doesn't work. Nobody's working in the hospital magically curing people. No one's out there putting buildings together with magic. It's not happening. It doesn't work. Nothing works. Ah, man, what a guy. He's just so... Oh, the sorcerers and necromancers out there. Dude. Wow.
Just, they get their power from demons.
Well, that is true, Pragmatic Crystal. And the problem is that he lives in Africa, which has a real problem with people reading that thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, and ending a lot of women who did nothing, just having a cat or something, or having a symbol in their home that they find occult.
In the same way.
Well, no, don't forget his father was a pastor. Okay, so this was passed down to him presumably from his father. But it is everything that's wrong with the world today. People think these imaginary things are real, and they're not.
Celebrities or musicians get their power, their skill, to be famous from selling their soul to the devil. I'm not saying everyone does this, but there are a few.
Are you fat? You got 1-point-something million subscribers. Did you sell your soul? Oh, you're the one that didn't. Oh, yeah, I got you. You're the exception. This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. No, they didn't sell. You can't sell your soul to the devil to get power and famous. It doesn't. What?
So they sell their souls for just a little bit of power in this short, temporary world. And then they lose their soul for all eternity.
Yeah, I don't. This is wild. This is so wild. He honestly thinks that, like, you know, Taylor Swift, instead of practicing their art and really working at it. Oh, left-handed Jedi, thank you so much for $2. Consider this my sorcerer union dues. Yep, well, enjoy your sorcerer emotes and your sorcerer benefits. We shall all do magic. Look, I'm not going to even bother with you anymore, left-handed. I'm just going to sell my soul and be famous tomorrow. No, it wasn't because these people worked to, you know, had talent and worked really hard and perfected their craft. Admittedly, some of them didn't. Some of them just had famous parents. You know, Jaden Smith, I'm looking in your direction here. Some of them just had famous parents. Some of them actually worked really hard and had to perfect their craft, had to, like, practice at it every day. And I think they're overpaid. I think they're overpaid. I think they're overpaid. Hell, Matt Damon thinks he's overpaid, and I agree with him. I think they are. But at the same time, it's not because they made a deal with the devil. It's because they worked really freaking hard, or they had a lot of talent, and usually both. Or it's just pure nepotism. They knew somebody in the industry and got in like that. They were given opportunities others weren't because they knew somebody. Happens all the time. Nepotism's a thing. Look at, you know, Dr. Oz didn't make Surgeon General of America because he had a lot of talent and worked really hard. It was because because Trump's an idiot. That's why you have Dr. Oz as the premier health expert in your country. That's the reason. Nepotism. Because Trump liked what he said.
Brings us to number 5. Demonic entertainment, games, music.
Yep. Games, music.
And movies.
Games, music, and movies. Yes. Demonic. Who said games, music, and movies?
If the Holy Spirit does not give you peace about something, then get rid of it. Look.
I don't hear him talking about brooms. Okay, I'm gonna assume brooms are safe. I don't know why, but I do need my broom. Okay, and if that's associated with witchcraft, I've got problems. I've got big problems because I need it to clean my house. And
you can't always protect your kids and just keep them in a bubble. They will experience things at school.
Yeah, people try. I was talking to one day with a guy today in chat. Okay, so this guy in chat, he's basically like, if I knew my 17-year-old daughter was going to do OnlyFans at 18, I would tell the government that she is insane and get her locked in an asylum. No joke. He wasn't even joking. Right? That's what he said. And that's what he believed. If and when I said, hey, that's really horrible to lie to the government, manipulate the system, and then take freedom unjustly away from your daughter because you don't like what she's doing, he was like, oh, I'm sorry you don't love your family enough to stop them doing something that's bad for them. That's the morality that we've gotten down to. I'm going to lie my ass off, manipulate a system, have somebody committed in a horrible place who I claim to love, just so they don't do something because I believe it's going to turn out badly for them. Based upon my imaginary friend saying so. Insane. Insane. Well, I was in the chat of Matters Now. Craig or Fight the Flat Earth was on, and he sort of said, hey, if my daughter turns 18 and wants to do OnlyFans, I will support her and love her no matter what. That is the correct response. That she is an adult at that point. She gets to make her own decisions and make her own failures. Your kids are going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. What's important is you're there to support them, not to lock them in a basement so they don't do anything wrong. It's ridiculous. It reminds me of that sort of trad wife that gave advice that like was duct taping her children to chairs, and one of them escaped. I can't remember the name of them. Like, you can't do that to children. In Zeta Templeton? Is that her? Yeah, I don't know. It's wild. It's wild. Frankie? I can't remember. I can't remember. It's not the first time it's happened as well. It's pretty horrendous. Pretty horrendous. And then, you know, you've got the Andersons, who their children have come out saying they're incredibly abusive. You know, this is the kind of thing you get. The ends justify the means. She was a Mormon house, right? Ruby Frankie. You could be right. You could be right. Oh, she was definitely a crad wife, though. Yeah, she was the one in 8 Passengers. She had her own show and everything. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yep. You're absolutely right. It was a Mormon woman, but she was definitely, you know, putting the trad wife out there kind of thing. Yeah, good call. Good call, Dagan. Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. But when they come back from school or their friends, they have you, who teaches them the truth of Scripture, what they need to look out for. And so you don't have to throw away everything, but just those things that you know, this is not from God. This is going to influence my child or even me.
I'm sorry. What movies, video games, and what was the other thing? Music are from God. Has God got a production company that I'm unaware of? Have you played Christian games? I had the unfortunate fate to play a Christian game on my last Christmas stream, and let me tell you, it was terrible. It was awful. It kept crashing. It was a nightmare. It was, you know, at least I got to play as Jesus, as Kent Hovind. That was funny. That was funny. I do admit.
In a negative way. Get rid of it. Do not let your kids watch these things that's created by evil through the Illuminati to change their way of thinking from a young age. You need to look at even the kids' programs today, how they weave in everything there. It is not the same as even 5 years ago. It changed. They are influencing the new generation to think that good is evil and evil is good. And that is why people...
Who's they? Is that the Illuminati? It's the Illuminati again, I bet. Yeah, no, Illuminati, yeah. Call of Christ modern spiritual. I like that, Trinibus. I like that. I have played that game, Call of Duty, as well.
Start to think, man, why don't people have common knowledge anymore? Common sense. Proverbs 22 verse 6 says...
Yeah, the thing about common sense is it's not common and it's not really sensical. Common sense is sort of like intuition. It's just things that seem to be something. It doesn't make a lot of sense, really.
Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. When they grow older and you see them watching something and you know, oh, this is not part of God's will. Just sit there and watch a little bit with them. Don't just act all strange and put the TV off and just say, we're not going to watch this. And they ask you, why not? And you say, because I say so. No, you have to handle this better with the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. Go sit down, watch a little bit, talk to your child and see, do you see this? This is actually demonic. This is this. This is this. Explain to them. Teach them truth in love.
Yeah, teach your children that demons are real and they're out to get them and they're lurking in their video games and movies. Yeah, no, that's totally healthy. That is so unhealthy for children. This is why people have religious trauma. This is why it occurs, because they grow up being told that there's monsters in the shadows, that they have to watch out. There's horrible things going to get them. Look, life's scary enough, my guy. Just, say, hey, these are the consequences of those kind of actions, and it's not real. Like, they're going to watch this stuff anyway. I hate to tell you, my guy, they're going to get to it anyway. They're going to go round a friend's house, or they're going to, find it at the light. They're going to find it anyway. It's best to sit down and say, hey, that this behavior will lead to X, Y, and Z. Sure, you have that right as a parent, but they're going to get to it anyway. Kids always do. They always do.
And then for those parents who are all the way at the other side, who almost everything is demonic, please don't be harsh with your kids. You're going to be too legalistic and push them away from the gospel, from God. There is not an agenda or an evil spirit behind every rock. And a lot of people who think that way, it comes from a place of fear. You fear everything. No. Educate yourself, grow in the knowledge of Christ, and then handle it the right way. Let the Spirit guide you. Acts 19, verse 13 says, then some of the itinerant Jewish exorcists undertook to invoke the name of the Lord Jesus over those who had evil spirits, saying, I adjure you by the Jesus whom Paul proclaims. 7 sons of a Jewish high priest named Sceva were doing this. But the evil spirit answered them, Jesus I know, and Paul I recognize, but who are you? And the man in whom was the evil spirit leaped on them, mastered all of them, and overpowered them, so that they fled out of that house, naked and wounded.
A lot of nakedness in the Bible. Are you sure that's appropriate for children? I'm not sure it's appropriate for children. And who was the naked boy, like the naked young man in the Garden of Gethsemane? I remember that. Like, there was a naked boy in there because the soldiers found Jesus with a boy, and then they grabbed his clothes, and his clothes came away, and he ran off naked. A
true believer in Jesus Christ is the only person in this world with the Holy Spirit in them that can cast out demons. And people from different religions.
You can cast out the non-existent demons. Yeah, no, I got you. Great work if you can get it. Banishing imaginary things. That's awesome.
Do get demons in them from time to time. Not everyone, but some people.
And he's even done the music in the background. It's like this music going on in the background to sort of make it seem spooky or uplifting as he talks. The production value is quite high. It's just, why does he need this music going on in the background that changes depending on the mood that he wants to invoke? It's just manipulation. That's all it is. This is when you can see other people do it. Great Comfort does it as well. He has this, when he's talking about demons, he'll have this sinister music. When he talks about Jesus, this uplifting music kind of thing. It's obvious that this is just a way to toy with people's emotions. That's what they're trying to do.
Why? Because they worship these gods that are actually demons. So worshiping these demons open a foothold for these demons to come into their life. And that is also how these people are able to practice interesting magical things. Like
what? What magical things are these people practicing? Necromancy? Have we got zombies everywhere? Can you please tell me what magic they're practicing?
Even if we go back to the Pharaoh, like the sorceress.
No, not Pharaoh. Like, you're saying they're practicing this today. Where and how? Where is Hogwarts, sir? I want to know. Because if they're practicing magic, for some reason, nobody has managed to record it. What?
Practiced magic. Now read the rest with me. Verse 17. And this became known to all the residents of Ephesus, both Jews and Greeks, and fear fell upon them all, and the name of the Lord Jesus was extolled. Also, many of those who were now believers came, confessing and divulging their practices. And a number of those who had practiced magic arts brought their books together and burned them.
Oh, what's the problem? They're just doing book burning. No, everybody that does book burning is just awesome, right? Right? Book burning has always been something associated with the good guys. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just a little light book burning. Nobody evil has ever burned books. Come on now.
In the sight of all. You see, when they saw the truth and understood that God is God and that these
100%.
other fake gods are not really gods but demons, they came and burned their books because they realized the truth. And they counted the value of them and found it came to 50,000 pieces of silver. So the word of the Lord continued to increase and prevail mightily. So what do you need to do if you find any of these objects or things in your house?
Okay, so yeah, and I totally agree. Cusco, I agree. It is the satanic panic. The only thing that changes are the accoutrements, the little bits and pieces around it. That's all that changes. It's exactly the same spiel. Before it was heavy metal music, Dungeons and Dragons, you know, all of this kind of stuff. Now it's just the current music, the spiritualism stuff, you know, the new age stuff kind of thing, and other religion. It's exactly the same thing. All that's changed is the you know, the idols. That's all that's changed. Oh dear.
Well, do what these people did. Renounce it and burn it. And then ask God to forgive you.
I'm sorry, you said renounce it and burn it. So you're advocating for burning books and burning things.
And then ask God to forgive you that you had this object.
Did he just say burn it?
You need to do if you find any of these objects or things in your house. Well, do what these people did. Renounce it and burn it. And then ask God to forgive you that you had this object in your room and to clean.
Well, why burn it? I don't. Maybe it's so no one can use it. I don't know, but like, are you gonna, like, just say you have a relic of ancient Egypt that has a eye of Horus on it? Are you gonna burn it? Like, seriously? What is with Christians and burning everything? I feel sorry for the necromancers that are out there. This guy would 100% burn them. If this guy finds a necromancer, oh boy, they're in trouble. He will burn you. Like, I'm not even joking. It's wild.
Your whole house and your family in the name of Jesus Christ. If you ask him to protect you.
Yeah, this guy's like, I love the smell of books burning in the morning. Come on, dude. We don't burn books.
He will. 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 3. But the Lord is faithful. He will establish you and guard you against the evil one. Now, there are many things that I can probably mention.
Why is it the evil one? I thought you said that all the gods were demons. Shouldn't it be the evil ones or the evil multitude, or shouldn't it be plural in some way? Why is it just evil one? Can he guard you against that one, but not all the other ones? What's going on here? Is that what's happening? You know, the others get a free pass
here that you need to be careful of. But there's one thing I want to mention in this video. You can watch some other videos where I mention a few other things, but today I just want to mention this because some of you might need to hear this.
Okay, I need to
be careful of yoga.
Oh,
they even have Christian yoga today.
Oh,
and I know I've heard all the.
Oh no! How dare I be healthy? How dare you do something for your health?
Reasons why people say they do yoga, but those reasons are not good enough once you know the truth. And you can do Pilates or something else.
Oh, yeah, you can do Pilates. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, Pilates is good as well. I don't see why I would stop doing yoga. I don't know why that would be. If you could fill me in, Daniel Tradbro, sir.
That does not involve worshiping the god Brahma.
Oh yeah, I've never worshipped the god Brahma in any of. How many people have done yoga and worshipped Brahma? I know I've never done that ever. Wow.
It comes straight from Eastern mysticism, and it is dangerous. Especially.
Oh yeah, no, I almost pulled a tendon once. It's uber dangerous. Oh, you mean spiritually dangerous? Right, got you. Okay, it's spiritually dangerous. Got you. No more downward facing dog. Yeah, it's just downward dog. But yeah, I got you. No more warrior 2. That's not on. Not on.
Especially when they use mantras. And, well,
especially when I don't think I've ever used a mantra in yoga. I've never used a mantra. I don't think that's really like modern yoga. I don't think it really gets into that kind of stuff. It's more for fitness and flexibility than anything else. So yoga's benefits, Pilates can be similar, but Pilates really only targets flexibility, core strength, things like that. And don't get me wrong, it's very good. But yoga, because a lot of the poses it uses are balances, it actually helps your sense of balance, which is actually really good for people getting older, like myself. I mean, I'm almost 50 now, and it helps with balance, which older people seem to lose as they go along. So that is why yoga is so good and good for you, as well as things like breathing. So it helps you core strength, balance, flexibility, and it does a lot of breathing exercises, which helps you sort of open up your lungs and stretch kind of thing. So, yeah.
I made a whole video about it, so let me not go on too long in this video.
Oh, that's a conundrum. If the sage is evil, but it's evil to burn sage, how do you get rid of the sage? Oh, that is beautiful. I love that. That is a dichotomy right there. That's a dichotomy. So if you have to burn it because it's evil, but burning sage is evil, what do you do? Damn, you have me stumped, sir. I don't know whether to burn my sage or not. I'm completely bewildered. But isn't it weird how like that burnt offerings are good as well? So aren't you just offering the books and the video games and the sage and everything? Aren't you just offering that to God if you burn it? Is it because you burn it the wrong way or something? So you burn the things that are good and God likes, like offerings, and you burn the things that are bad that God dislikes. I just think they like burning shit. I'll be honest with you. I think they just like burning stuff. You know, books, people, crosses. You know, Christians. They just like a good burning, man. Like seriously. I mean, I enjoy a barbecue as much as the next man, but this is ridiculous. Seriously.
Watch the video here of yoga. You can also watch this whole playlist here of.
Yeah, and I gotta go look this guy. This guy's wild. This guy's wild. I mean, you know, necromancers, witches, and you know, burning books. It's wild. Seriously, I'm so glad I found this man. He is hilarious. Though he's got to stop living in a fantasy world. There's no necromancers out there. There are no witches. Magic doesn't work. There's no. It's just made up, sir. We made it up. None of it works. None of it works. No, none. Not a one. Nothing. No, nothing magical. Nothing mystical. We've just got us, and it's okay if you have a dream catcher in your house. It is not going to invite demons in because demons aren't real. Prove me wrong. Produce a demon. Produce footage of a demon. Produce a footage of someone demon possessed that isn't easily accountable by mental health issues or sickness. It doesn't happen. This is the problem with these people. They will claim stuff and then refuse to back it up. Nuking the sage. You know, I seem to have left my nuke in my other pants, but I'll certainly take it on board. I'll certainly take it on board. Sage is the most evil. Yeah. Smoke the sage. Yeah, I wonder how he feels about weed. That's not really associated with any religious thing. It's not associated with occult stuff. It's not really. It's just weed, man. Do you think he'll burn the weed? Give the neighborhood a bit of a buzz? I have no idea. It's all bewildering to me. But that about does it for Daniel. What do I think? I think that this is just, you know, this is just ridiculous. It is the devil's lettuce. That's true. That is true. Devil's lettuce. Yeah. So maybe he would burn the weed, burn the reefer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day. I'm very hot. I don't know if you can see, but I'm actually sweating a lot because it is frigging hot over here. But it's been wild, and Daniel has been interesting, if not, and worrying, I guess. Like, burning books is just not. We don't do that anymore. We can put the books aside and say, hey, this is not correct information. We don't have to burn them, my guy. It's fine. We kind of keep an open mind for that kind of stuff these days. And I don't know how you'll go if you find, your kid's video game objectionable, taking it to the backyard and burning it. I don't know how you'll go on that one, mate. It doesn't seem like a very healthy thing to do. And sort of, a lot of the stuff isn't really healthy at all. Stop teaching your kids there's spooks and specters and ghosts and goblins out to get them. It's not good. It's not good. They don't have to be worried about that stuff because they're just not real. They're not real. There's nothing out there that's going to jump out and possess them. It's going to be, the world's going to kick them hard because it kicks everybody hard. It's not going to be the boogeyman. It's going to be their priest down the road who takes advantage of their innocence. That's who it's going to be, because that's what these absolute morally bankrupt people do upon occasion. Not all of them, but it happens a lot. So let's protect them from that. Let's protect them from people who really want to abuse them, not from your made up stories. So yeah, but anyway, be kind to yourself. Be kind to each other. You don't have to believe in ghosts and goblins. Look out for one another and we'll all make it together, because that's what we do as humans. That's what humans be doing. That's the things humans be doing. I will try to get out that video as soon as possible. I do admit I've been a little bit slack lately, a little bit fed up, a little bit, I don't know, a tiny bit burnt out. I tried to be very generous to myself, and I am trying. So I really appreciate all of your support, your patience. I appreciate all of it. So thank you so much, everybody. Do take care, and I will. Oh, the poll, you're right. Oh, thanks, Spillcab. I totally forgot. I forgot about my poll. I had a big poll poking up here, and I totally forgot about it. Totally. Oh, it's the cat. It had to be the cat. Look, I got to admit, I was rooting for the garden gnome. I was rooting for the gnome. Garden gnomes are demonic. Okay, I won't hear set. You can't tell me otherwise. Okay, you can't tell me otherwise. All right, like, you look at a garden gnome peeing into a pond, and that has got to be from Satan. It absolutely is. It's terrifying. Okay, just don't even argue with me. How dare you, the cat? I'm going to ban all of you, or one of you, or none of you. I don't know. Anyway, people, take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.